Hi there, welcome to String Function 1, and in this session we're going to see different methods in strings. There are predefined methods. So these are the methods which we'll be saying, and followed by a sample program so that you'll have a better idea as to how these predefined functions work. Now in the first case, s2 equal to s1 dot to lowercase, which means I am going to change the characters of s1 to lowercase and save it as s2. Likewise, the second example, the characters in s1 are converted to uppercase characters and saved in s2. When I write s2 equal to s1 dot replace is a predefined method of x comma y, and all x characters are replaced with y and saved in s2. Now what is the application of this particular replace function? Like say for example in your Word document, when you want to replace a particular word or a character, this is how this particular function comes into force. s1.trim removes white spaces in string s1 and saves as s2, and s1 equals to s2 returns true if the s1 string is equal to s2, or it returns a false. Once again, in this example, equals ignore case, the characters in s1 are compared with s2, but in this case the character is ignored. Maybe the first word could be India with a capital I, the second word could be India with a small I, but even then it will show that the string is equal. The length method, the length of method, returns the length of a string that you passed, which means it tells you the number of characters that's been typed. The s1.caret, the caret method, returns where your character is. Like say you want to know where a particular character, you give the position of the character as a number. If you want to know the character in the 5th position, then that character is shown to you. Like say for example in the word apple, you want to know the 3rd character, then therefore the index value will be 2, and that will be a p. So p will be given to you. And when s1 is compared with s2, the ASCII values of s1 is compared with the ASCII values of s2. This is what the compare to method does. It compares the ASCII values, and if the value of the first string is lesser than the second string, then it returns a negative value. It returns a positive value if the values of s1 is greater than s2, and it returns 0 if s1 equal to s2, which means it will just check the characters, the ASCII values of the characters, and give the value of the characters either as negative, positive, or a 0. The concat method is used to concatenate or join two strings. So the s1.concat s2 concatenates s1 and s2 strings into a single string. The substring of n method returns the substring starting from the nth character to the last character. Like suppose you have a word apple and you want a substring of 2, then naturally it will take from the first, that is the p, and from p it will go on to pple will be the characters returned to you. The s1 dot substring of n comma m, this will return the substring starting from the nth character up to the mth character, which means if you are given a word apple and you give substring s1 dot substring of 2 comma 3, then the strings p and p will be returned to you. The index of is a method wherein it just checks for the occurrence or the position of the x character. So the single quote x is the character that we are giving, so it will check the position of the first occurrence of the X character in the S1 string. The S1 dot index of X comma n, where n is a number, returns the position of the X character in S1 string after the nth character, which means if you want to check the position of E after L, then you type it as S1 dot index of E, and the L value is APPLE, which means L as an index value of 3, you type 3, which means then E will be returned in the word apple. So this is what the index of tells you. Now let's see a sample program on some of the predefined string functions. What you see on the screen are examples of the class string function. As you can see, like I have declared two strings over here. One is welcome in lowercase and S2, which is welcome in uppercase. Now just see what I am doing here. I have just printed the string S1 as this, and I have printed string S2 as S2. Now please remember, this plus symbol that I have typed over here denotes that it's a concatenation symbol, so it will just get concatenated along with this message and the variable S1 will be printed. That's what it says. And now I've added a new method which I have not shown you yesterday in the previous session. It's system.out.println starts with L. It says plus S1 dot starts with. This is the method, the starts with method, of which I have just passed a parameter L inside. This is to check if the word starts with L. If it doesn't start with L, then you get a false message on your screen. And as you know, welcome starts with a W, therefore this particular sentence should return a false. And the next thing, we have calculated the length of the particular string S1. The length of S1, that is welcome, is 7. As you can see, it starts with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but the length is 7. The next is the char at, and I have passed a variable 3, which means S1 dot char at of 3, that is the third index, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3, which should be a C. There's another method which I have not shown in the previous session, that's ends with. The ends with just checks whether the string has ended with a particular character that we have passed as a parameter. Now if you see, ends with of M is what I have given. Since it has ended with E, then naturally what you will get is a false on your screen. We saw this index of M, which means it just wants to know the position of the character M, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore M is in the 5th position, as you can see here, which I have passed in comments. And here you have system.out.println last index of E, that is S1 dot last index of E. It shows the last index, that is there are two E's over here in welcome. So when I want to check the last index, then it will show the last E that has been printed over here. So the index is 6 and hence the 6 will be printed. And I'm just checking the substring of 2. So S1 dot substring of 2, which means characters will be printed from the second index, that is 0, 1, and it will be printed from here, and the answer that you will see on the screen is LCOM. And here you have substring 3 of 6, that is it will start from 3 and go up to 6, that is the S1 dot substring of 3, 6. And now I am trying to print the S1. As you can see, S1 is in the lowercase, therefore I am converting the S1 into the uppercase. Therefore what you will see on the screen is welcome in uppercase. and in the next case I have printed the S2 which is in the uppercase to the lowercase. Therefore this is how your output will look like. And now I have given another method called replace. It will replace W with D. So the method is replace, and I have passed the arguments W which is to be replaced with D. Therefore the answer will look like this. It will certainly not be a welcome, it will be the delete come or delcome. Now I am going to check if the S1 equals to the S2 string and the method is equals. So S1 dot equals of S2, since the ASCII values don't match, the ASCII value of the uppercase is different and the ASCII values of the lowercase are different. Like say for example, the ASCII value of capital A is 65 and it goes on up to Z, and then the lowercase, the lowercase of A, the ASCII value is 97 and it goes on from there. So these two ASCII values do not match together, and therefore it will give a false message. But in this case I have written S1 dot equals ignore case of S2. Therefore now the case will be ignored, and now both the characters are the same. Therefore you will get this message which is true. And I also given this concat method over here, wherein the S1 string and S2 strings will be concatenated, and you will get a message of welcome, welcome in lowercase and uppercase. And last I have just printed the S1 string. Now let's run this program and see what the output is. Now I compile the program. Now I'll run the program. As you can see from the program, the system.out.println string S1 is what you see here, that is welcome. String S2 is welcome, starts with L. This word does not start with L, therefore it's a false. The length is 7. The char at 3, as I told you, the char at 3, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, therefore it's a C, and that's what is printed here. Does it end with M? No, therefore it's a false. The index of M is 5, and the last index of E, that is the second E, is 6. The substring of 2 is LCOM, and substring of 3, C is COM. The uppercase of string S1 is uppercase of welcome, and the lowercase is the lowercase of welcome. We have replaced W with D. As you can see, the output, it's something different. W has been replaced with D. S1 dot equals of S2 is false, but S1 dot equals ignore case of S2 is true. And concatenating two strings, you see the concatenation welcome, welcome, and of course the string S1 which is printed in the last as welcome. Now we can also add something to this program, like say for example, if I want to change it into an uppercase and store it in another variable, I can very simply write like this: string S3 equal to S1 dot to uppercase. I just copy that and I print it, S1 dot to uppercase. Don't forget to put the semicolon. So I have converted S1 to uppercase and I have stored that in the string S3, and now I am going to print the value S3. So you can see how we can write a program in a fast manner just by copying and pasting certain characters and just changing whatever we want inside the parentheses, so it becomes easy to type a program. Now I'll save this program and once again compile it. Now that the program has been compiled, so let's run the program. It's Java string function, and if you see, I've concatenated to. Now in the last thing you can see that S3 is equal to S1 dot uppercase, so it's been converted to uppercase, and I've printed the S3 variable over here, which is the string S3, and you can see that it is uppercase. Now having saved it as uppercase, I can use S3 string in any part of my program to always print my characters in uppercase. So this is how a program has to be written whenever you're going to use string functions, and it will be very easy if you can just copy paste inside your program so as to avoid repetitions. So let's meet once again with more number of programs. In this session we've seen string methods and a sample program to go along with it. So till such time we meet again, it's thank you and bye.